of the conference, dear colleagues. My name is Yuliia Shyika. I am Associate Professor of the Applied Linguistics Department of Lviv Polytechnic National University, and let me, on the behalf of my co-authors, present our research, Quantitative Parameters of J.London's short story collections, The Children of the Frost, and its translation. So, just a second,
One of the key issues in modern linguistics is natural language processing. Nowadays, there is a number of information technologies enabling an automated research with the aim of forming the factual basis of the research, corpus of text being one of them. The corpus of text is a central concept in corpus linguistics and its object of study. Since a language is not a strictly arranged system and has probabilistic character, it is advisable to apply statistical methods in order to research it. Research in corpus linguistics is facilitated by special software tools, concordances, and corpus managers, which provide various opportunities to obtain the necessary information from the corpus. Thus, corpus allows addressing the variety of research questions and have been applied in a wide range of linguistic disciplines, including lexicography, grammar, discourse analysis, sociolinguistics, and others. Generally understood as the collection of text, the term corpus can have different meanings in various disciplines. In the field of linguistics, the corpus refers to any collection of data, whether narrative text or separate sentences, obtained for the purpose of linguistic research. But the term is used in a different way in corpus linguistics. It refers to a collection of samples of language used with the following properties. First of all, the instance of language use contained in it are authentic. Second, the collection is representative of the language or language variety under investigation. And the third property, the collection is large. Additionally, text in such collections are often commented on in order to enhance their potential for linguistic analysis. In particular, they may contain information about the paralinguistic aspects of the source data, linguistic properties of utterances, and demographic information about the speaker or a writer. As a rule, the research process with the corpus involves the following stages. First of all, its selection of sources of linguistic material, then its data entry, then philological verification in text editings, and fourth step, its converting and grammatic analysis, which includes recording of non-textual elements or their removal and division of the text into structural parts. Then we have the providing text and their components with additional information, that is text markup. And the sixth and the last step is converting of markup text into the corpus and providing access to it. To serve as a basis of the scientific research, a corpus should not only have a significant volume of or contain data of various types, but also it should possess the following features. So first feature is representativeness. So the corpus must represent all the features of a particular area. It can be very large or very small. Representativeness is closely related to volume of the corpus. For example, it is necessary to cover all works of a certain author or historical text of a certain period, or text of a certain subject, for example, radio or TV series, political speeches, and so on. In other cases, full representation of language cannot be achieved. The second feature is balance. Corpus representativeness largely depends on how balanced a corpus is. The acceptable balance of a corpus is determined by its intended uses. A balanced corpus usually covers a wide range of text categories which are supposed to be representative of the language or language variety under consideration. And the third feature is machine readability, and it's the main criterion for electronic text corpus. Machine readability also requires encoding of corpus data. Corpus computerization has many advantages. It speeds up processing and makes working with data sets much easier. Machine readability enables further automatic processing of data of a particular corpus and allows the researcher to improve the corpus with all sorts of markup. The purpose of language corpus is to show the functioning of linguistic units in the natural contextual environment. The following prerequisites form the basis for further criterion creation and usage of corpora. So first is substantial or representative and balanced volume of the corpus guarantees the typicality of the data and provides the whole spectrum of linguistic phenomena. The various data which are included in the corpus are in the natural contextual form, which creates the possibility of the comprehensive and objective study. The third criterion, its once created and prepared data set can be used repeatedly by different researchers and for different purposes. The next important step in building a corpus is marking and annotation. Document markup refers to labeling, similar to HTML code used to indicate features of a document, such as paragraphs, fonts, sentences, including sentence numbers, author identification, and end of the text markings. Corpus annotation can take many forms that can be implemented at different levels, for example, at the phonological level, at the morphological level, at the lexical, and at the syntactic levels. The most common form of corpus annotation includes tags or the part of speech which mark each word in the corpus as a grammatical category, such as noun, adjective, adverb, and so on. These tags facilitate setting a number of issues about a simple search for a particular keyword. Corpus analysis software tools vary in functionalities, but all of them facilitate to search the corpus for a specific set of linguistic units. Most of these software packages have the following features. First, they create quick, that is keyword in context corkidons, then they identify the collocations of this expression, and then they form lists of frequencies. Generally, modern software tools used in corpus linguistics research are fast and rich in features. In this research, the analysis of J.London's collection of short stories Children of the Frost has been conducted on the basis of the digitally processed and marked up corpus of original text and Ukrainian translations by Hladka and Koriakina. It covers a number of characteristics which have been compared. Here and after we propose some denotations. The text volume is N. The number of different words is we, the number of sentences is S, and so on. As it is seen from the table, in the process of translation, the number of functional words decreased, as well as text volume and number of words in the text with the frequency of 10 or more. The number of different word forms is high in the target text, which is predictable, at least because the Ukrainian language has 7 cases, as opposed to 2 cases in English. The frequency of each part of speech in the text and the vocabulary of the author, translators, has been compared, since the ratio of part of speech is an important statistical parameter of the individual style of both the author and a particular work. The most frequent of the source and target text are the functional words. Pronouns have similar high activity in the text and cover about 13% of the text. Approximately the same share in the text and the vocabulary is covered by the adverbs and numerals. Nouns, verbs, and adjectives are the most frequent. These parts of speech represent the vocabulary richness of the source and target text, and their ratio confirms that the nominal character of the individual style of the original text has been preserved in the translation. Linguistic and statistical analysis of the corpus under research has been carried out. The following characteristics of the corpus have been calculated, such as the average word length, the average frequency of the words in the text, exclusivity index of the text, exclusivity index of the vocabulary, the richness of the vocabulary, concentration index, and so on. As presented in the table, the main indicators that characterize the individual style in the source and target text do not differ significantly, except of average word frequency, which in source text is almost twice higher, and the coefficient of embolism is 10 times higher in the target text than it is in source text. Concluding the research, it can be noted that the number of word usages in the source text exceeds the number of word usages in the target text, both in the whole corpus and in separate stories. Indices of vocabulary richness, exclusivity for the text and the vocabulary, the concentration of the vocabulary do not differ significantly. The mainly used part of speech in English and Ukrainian texts are nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. The translation preserves the ratio of different parts of speech. The number of pronouns, adverbs, and functional verbs in the vocabulary of the target text has slightly decreased. The index of epithetization does not differ significantly in source and target text. The index of verb phrases is higher in the source text. The degree of nominality shows the number of nouns per verb, and in the source text there are 1.32 nouns per verb, and in the target text 1.22 per one verb. Therefore, the degree of aggression is identical in source and target text and equals 0.19. This confirms the fact that the nominal character of the source text has been accurately reproduced in the target text. Various linguistic disciplines will benefit from the research findings. These findings can be applicable in the analysis conducted within the scope of corpus linguistics, translation studies, literary studies, discourse analysis, lexicography, and others. Thank you for your attention.